Welcome to another episode of Something for the People. This is your boy B Hunt, aka the Silent Prophet, along with my co-host Big Country.
What's good, people? Mr. Too Real for TV's back with you.
That's why we on podcast. Y'all understand the reason he on podcast is he just too real for TV. Unless y'all wanna give us a TV deal, then I'm with that.
Hey, I don't mind changing out for a little TV.
Yeah, then he could just be too real for something else. Too real for radio. Unless you want to give us a radio deal.
Well, ain't that I say it is some crazy things. I just say the things people be thinking, but they don't want to just say out loud. I just say those things.
Understood.
And some people be like, I can't believe he said it.
Yeah, like something that we should be saying is, parents, you should be passing wealth down to your kids. Okay, because see that's a major thing that I feel like we are missing in this day and age.
I really I was thinking about it, and we were watching Pawn Stars before this episode, and I think about the things that people could pass down generations, the way people are set up. Like Pokemon cards have become collector's items, Yu-Gi-Oh cards, all those different things that we played with as little kids that could actually make our own children a lot of money.
Right.
Just by us holding on to things.
But do you think that the reason why they didn't do it is out of ignorance? Because I'm certain if our parents knew, hey, I just brought him that holographic Charizard and it's the original first 50. And instead of, oh, well, they done playing with him, gonna throw him away. Is it more like, hey, we got to put this one up. You can play with the rest. We got to put this one up.
Well, I think those nostalgic things we should have two of. The one for play and the one to keep. Right. Like, for example, an easy way of looking at it, those Barbies. Barbies from back in the day are worth a crap load of money now. Action figures, G.I. Joe cards, playing cards. Think about it. If we were born in the 80s. So if we have Michael Jordan rookie card, like, it'd be crazy. Those cards, those little things that we used to play with all the time become collector's items. Last week we were talking about comic books that I had, and the fact that there are some comic books that are worth crazy money now.
We just saw one on Pawn Stars with the Superman
and Muhammad Ali. And that's the thing that I wish, don't get me wrong, yes, we should be building wealth, we should be helping each other to strive for better and want better and do better. But those little things that we do day in, day out, you never know, they may be worth money. Because I think about it now and I'm like, I had Pokemon cards. I used to collect Pokemon cards.
Right.
And stuff
I think I got some friends who got Pokemon cards.
But think about it, if you have holographic first edition, Mewtwo, and all those kind of things.
Wealthy.
Yes.
Well, at least because I'm not like as up to date as I should be on those, because my kids don't have them. And also, I'm going to be honest, when I was a kid, we didn't really, like, only Pokemon cards we was able to get is when our friends gave us one. And you know your friend ain't finna give you no holographic Mewtwo.
Okay. Like, and I'm just saying, this was back in the day. That, like, I've grown now, changed, but honestly, I thought about, we used to rob this little kid for his Pokemon cards.
Oh, that's terrible.
Like, he was around the same age as us, but we'd be like, oh, talk about his cards and everything, and, like, me and my brother would look through his binder. One of us be talking to him, and the other one, we sliding on out. And don't get me wrong. Like, this is around 10, 11 years old, so I'm like, yes, I was wrong. I can admit I was wrong.
But that's growth.
Think about it like this. The holographic first edition Charizard that this boy had in his displays worth $500K right now.
Now, did you take that holographic?
No.
Understood.
Because
that's good. Because he would have kept, because I'm sure he's probably cashed it in, because if he got it in the binder set up, he set himself up, and his parents are setting him up.
Yes, and it was a little hate back in the day, but it was just the fact that it was like, cool, that was a cool one. We know everybody wanted that one. But I think about fast forward 20 some odd years later, $500K.
Right. Where I was coming from in reference to that, granted, because of our financial situation when I was a child, those avenues wasn't even something I was open to. Mm-hmm. Like, just being honest, don't get me wrong, did I have some nice things? Yes, but my nice things were necessities. It's like, hey, you ain't really finna get no Pokemon cards because my parents don't see the value in that, and we got other things we need to pay for. Like, shoot, we used to have to, for kids, we went dumpster diving. Like, we went literally jumped in trash cans, pulled something out that we thought was nice, and we take it home. So I was like,
we did the same thing, or shop at the thrift store, all those kind of things, because we didn't have a lot of things growing up. But as little kids, we were like, well, we're going to get one way or another.
But see, we didn't, because, my dad, going back on that, the name carries the weight. Hunters don't steal. You don't steal. Granted, I'm certain there are a lot of hunters out there, and I'm trying to let them and rob somebody for something. And I'm pretty sure I know them, but it is what it is. Under Greg Hunter, hunters don't steal, and I've been trying to maintain that.
But I'm gonna just say this one real quick, just for my caveat. My dad was a firm believer in that too, right? But his sons were a firm believer in it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. If you don't never see it, it never happened.
Understood. We talked about, and while we still got a little time on, we talked about collections of things, but we got a lot of people out there who don't have that. Like I said, I was giving myself an example. Like, we have those avenues to. So what I'm saying is, when I say pass wealth down, it is just as important that you, as a parent, try to build something. I can't tell you whether it be a business, but it might not be a business, but set a little money aside, play the stock. And if you just need to figure it out, watch some YouTube videos. YouTube University can put you in the game. Put something out there if a minimal investment is your maximum investment that you can put away and secure, then do that. Because what I've noticed is, when we was watching Pawn Stars, it's something as simple as, hey, this is a painting that your dad got from this guy long ago. He put it away, and now it's gaining them large amounts of wealth.
So I was thinking about it like this, because in the 80s, and I'm taking it back to the 80s, is because most of the people that watch this, you were either born in the late 80s or early 90s, kind of things like that. That's normally our demographic. So look at it like this. Microsoft, when it first came out, those shares were less than $1 a share, less than $1.
Right.
But now Microsoft is over $100 a share.
Right.
There were the people when Bill Gates first came out that were like, oh, no, I would never invest in any of that kind of stuff. And he was trying to give away, I'll give you shares in my company if you invest $100 here, $25 there. I'll give you so much of my own company. Right. And it's like, those people, if they would have been smart enough, understood, hey, I'm going to invest in something instead of just, oh, well, I got to keep my money to myself.
Well, that's another thing that we have to get on. And if you don't mind, I'm going to end us on this one. Okay. Just because it's new, don't make it taboo. It doesn't mean that it's like something that you should just cast to the wind because it's new. It don't make sense. Like cryptocurrencies. If you talk to Warren Buffett, hey, cryptocurrency is foolishness. He's like, I personally don't invest in something that I can't tangibly hold. And for him and his generation, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But for your generation, hey, if cryptocurrency is going to be the wave of the future, going to be the next move, then I'm not saying go out and blow your life savings on it, but it's okay to have your toes dipped in it a little bit. Just like, hey, just enough to where it ain't going to hurt me if it's gone, but if it do take off, I'm not somebody who got left behind.
Just like NFTs.
So I'm like right now, I downloaded this thing on Domestica, teach you how to make an NFT. So I'm trying to get in that game too. So it's just find a way to build wealth for your family, whatever it might be, even if it's a lawn care service with your kids. Mm-hmm. All right. So we're gonna jump into Iman Shumpert. I always say his name wrong. I know I do.
Okay.
Look, fam, I know your ex-wife name, soon to be
You know
ex-wife.
the dude.
Teyana Taylor's husband.
Yeah.
And they got a divorce. But like I said, my mission ain't to butcher your name, fam. It's really difficult, and I'm Southern. All right. I'm just being real. I'm just going to tell my truth, fam. All right, but, so of course, if you don't know, they are getting a divorce. And in the divorce settlement, she's getting a lot of stuff. When she first filed for that divorce, she filed for it under her initials because she didn't, of course, being people who are that prominent in society or have that type of, notoriety, you don't want the media and the tabloids to try to pick through and pull onto your life like they have been doing and have telling stories. So my mission or our mission as far as this podcast, I'm not getting into the particulars of what's going on. I'm just going into the stuff that we know this is what it said. So if you got anything in relation to, hey, this ain't exactly how it played out, cool. So I'm not going to say why they got divorced. Just know they are getting divorced. And currently there is some monetary situations going as far as the $8,000 a month. The 4 properties worth $10 million.
Hold up, we're going to call it how it is. She got set up for life. And I'm like, how the hell is he getting this badly done? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that she shouldn't be helped out. But she got how many properties? Was it 3 or 4?
She got 4 properties.
So you got 4 properties. You getting a 8-figure settlement. Mm-hmm. You getting on top of an 8-figure settlement. You get how much a month for child support?
$8,000 a month.
Okay, $8,000 a month for child support, and you got we talk about we want to be fair in nowadays, and I believe we should be fair. But bruh, come on.
What I would say is there's a point where I knew Teyana Taylor and I did not know.
Yes.
Her husband. I didn't, I understand you played basketball. I understand that for the most part you might have been a dominant force. I'm not really that big into basketball. But what I am going to say is I'm certain at certain points in y'all marriage.
But their wealth gap, it was not like he was making millions and she was only making money because of him. They both were making millions. They were making together. A lot of money together. Mm-hmm. Why she get all the good stuff? And I'm like, we're not going to talk about, I'm not here to point fingers because I know she got she out for divorce. And I'm like, that's fine. That's cool. I don't know why, but you did. But at some point in time, I'm like, ain't we supposed to split this amicably? This
is what it comes down to. We have to start, I understand they got feminists, but we need to have, I don't know what it is. Is it maleist or?
Well, they say it's red pill, but red pills evolved into so much more stuff.
Right. I just want to fight for male rights in the realm of, hey, yeah, I give her props. She did bear the children. They came out of her. However, from the time they came out to now, he's been a pivotal part in their life, whether it be from a parental standpoint, a financial standpoint, spiritual standpoint. They went hand in hand. So to say, hey, I don't know what their custody agreement is, but regardless of what takes place, there should be a 50-50 split on them kids. Like, hey, maybe we move closer together so you can be across the street. I'm across. They can literally just
go back and forth when
necessary. But this is why I keep saying a key part of any relationship is communication, because it went this way and it went left like this because they were unable to solve it out of court.
Now, here's that issue. Is because usually what happens when you're together, when you married, when you all happy, of course communication is good. Mm-hmm. But when y'all get to a point where it's like, when one person is like, I want out. No matter what the reason is, one person wants out. Now they playing the game of not, what's best in it for our children. It's like, how can I get the most?
Right.
It's like, I need the most out of this. Not, hey, let's be fair. if we're going to split custody, we love our children. They didn't work out for us. That's fine. That's cool. But I'm like, give me a break here. Like, and I'm like, they said what he got. He got a condo. She got 3 houses. 4 houses, 3 cars. My bad. 3 cars that are like $400,000 all together or something like that. And I'm like, bruh, you didn't get nothing out of this. All you got was a bill.
Exactly. What I'm saying is, to echo what you just stated, we have to put ourselves in a space to it. Like Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey. I feel like, granted, them getting divorced, that was their decision.
Yeah.
However, how they handled it, they was like, while we had the lawyers and all that involved, it was crazy difficult. Because the lawyer's job is to try to get you the most because they want their slice too. So they always pulling for more. I need more, I need more, I need more, I need more.
Yeah.
Whereas you might not feel like, I don't really need all that. I just need, support me when it comes to these kids. Of course, because I'm going to have the kids, you going to have the kids. You need a place to stay. I need a place to stay. Did that mean we break down one of these mansions and buy 2 houses? How do we move so that we can make sure that the kids get what they need? And from what was said, once they got the lawyers and all that out of the situation, they was able to come to hey, this is how we're going to do that. Amicable split. We cool. Yeah. And so far, the kids get to see Nick. Nobody. And you don't ever hear no pressure. Mm-hmm. From Mariah Carey when it comes to Nick. She ain't got to call no bad father. She ain't got to say he absentee. He can go out and make far more kids, and they like, it's all good. Like, nobody had no issues because at the end of it, he was able to make them understand, I'm not somebody that you can't talk to. Like, if you want to talk, like, whatever our deal is, we can talk it through and figure this out.
Like, I wish people, and this is not shy, one or the other. I wish people would really just sit back and see what they're doing and see is that the best response in this situation. Right. Because it's like, people really like, okay, like the Shaq and Shawnee thing. Like, you sit here and tell me you didn't know if you loved this man the entire time. The whole time, that means you were in it for the money, and you can't say that's not. You can't
switch up. Because you can't take what you said back.
Oh, well, he didn't trust me and he made me sign a prenup. You just proved.
What? Okay, look. On that prenup conversation, there are women, countless women online and about in real life. If the shoe was on the other foot and they were the primary breadwinners, the first thing they have you do is sign a prenup because they call every dude who does not sign a prenup stupid once all the divorce papers come out.
Yes.
So it's like, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. If you're going to say, oh, we all, like, you stupid for not having a prenup, but he don't trust me if he get one, then it's like, well, what's the alternative? Just not marrying you and we just live like this forever? What do you want? Because you ain't going to sit back and tell me I'm stupid for trying to show you, hey, I really rock with you like that. I don't feel like I need that. We going to go the long haul. Oh. Whereas, hey, if I base my marriage off feeling, then I feel like we can do this forever. If I base my marriage on logically 50% of marriages in divorce.
True.
So if 50%, I don't want to have such a high probability set up on my financial situation for the rest of my life. So no, if I was making it and I had already established myself, of course, it's not a you thing. It's just statistics. It's just number game.
Yes. We just setting up the just in case.
Right.
Every last person, if you are over the age of 20, you've heard that saying, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
True.
So, yes, you could love me and be like, you know what? I don't want to harm. I don't care about your money. But then it was like that Eddie early Raw movie. You remember Raw?
No.
Eddie half. Like half of it. And it's true because in too many cases, these things are happening. Right. Like, what was it? Steve Harvey. And I was like, I hate that he opened his mouth on it. Because Ray J, when he was going to marry old girl Princess or whatever, his wife or whatever, like, he wanted her to sign the prenup, but she signed the prenup. His family said it was smart. Her family said it wasn't smart. Of course it's not smart for her not to get to sign a prenup, but of course it's smart for him to get her
it's
to
a
sign.
two-sided coin. And that argument can be used on both sides. Yeah. It's like, if you love me, you'll sign a prenup because I know you're here for me.
Yeah.
On her side, if we need a prenup, you can't say you love me because you need insulation from me. It's like, look, regardless of how it pans out, if we can set up and establish, no matter what take place, we always gonna do what's in the best interest of the other person. If we don't make it in a divorce settlement, I'm gonna do what's in your best interest, and you do what's in best for mine, regardless of how you feel. But like I said, it's very difficult for people to get in a stressful situation like that and take, emotions out of it. Congratulations, Bronny, for making it into the NBA and getting signed to the Lakers. So there's some issue with it from a lot of people's standpoint, especially those people who really into sports and.
Okay, so I'm not going to speak on it from the sports analyst side because a lot of sports analysts have said that he shouldn't be there. But I'm just speaking on it from the father side. Of course I'm going to set my son up for the best. Without question. Like, why wouldn't I set my son up? Like, do I think, if people been doing this for generations upon generations, it's like, hey, I'm going to pass this down to my son. Exactly. If I have to if I die, my son's going to take over the reins, and I'm going to set him up for the best position. So, he may not be able to make it in there by himself. Maybe. That could be factually true. I don't know, because I'm watching him like that. But if it's me and my children, of course I'm going to be like, hey, bro, I'm going to oop you real quick. Here you go. Do. Hey, you should have, I've taught you the basic amount of skill. I'm going to toss it up to you. I'm going to need you to go and slam that in.
Right.
Go ahead. That's all you got to do. We on the same team. You could learn from me. I learn from you. We be father and son. It would be promotion for our family. Hell, we come out with a shoe deal.
The bronze.
The bronze family.
Yeah. Just, it could be that. What I'm saying is, I always have an issue with the world from this angle, because nepotism is never a problem until it's in the hands of black people. Yeah. Like, once you as a black guy get an opportunity to put your kids on, people gotta shun you. And majority of the time, the people shunning you are people who look just like you.
Yeah.
So it just makes me a little upset. It makes me like, do we really not want to see each other win? The fact that, hey, your father is LaBron James. And granted, we all looking at it like he shouldn't be in the NBA or what. That's regardless. If I got a seat and I got a voice anywhere, I'm going to put my kids on it. When this podcast take off and become a media powerhouse, you don't think Ethan going to have a show? you don't think Jada going to have a show?
Mm-hmm.
You don't.
But that's the idea. You supposed to be setting up the future generation.
Right.
It's like, why wouldn't I want, he got to get it on his own. Why? Who said that?
Bro, what people forget is family is the first team.
Yeah.
Like, life is a team sport. I know people be like, you born alone, you gonna die alone. Yeah, but the last name is the jersey, bro.
Yeah.
Like, everybody who come up and meet my kids gonna see the Hunter logo on their back. Until my daughter go off and marry somebody else to join their team, which I'm perfectly okay with.
Yeah.
However, when you show up and you see my team and you see how stacked this roster is and you see how successful these people are and you understand, they might not have done everything that you would have had to do to be where they are.
Yeah.
But somebody put their work in. LeBron James been dominant in that league for the longest. There's
what, 15, 20?
There's always goals. And then also on top of that, just being as old as he is and still being able to play at the level he playing. Yeah. Like, let's be realistic about it. So even if his son comes in, they on the same team, who better to try to coach you to be better than you are?
But that's the idea, and I wish black people would get out of this mindset that, oh, they got to get just like I got it.
Right.
No. I want my children to, we said on the last podcast, foundation, start from there.
Right.
Do not start down here in the dirt like I did and be like, oh, well, you supposed to be better than me. No. Start from foundation, go up.
It's like T.I. son. I always talking about I gotta build a name for myself. They gotta respect me out here. Well, they respect your dad.
Yeah.
So regardless of where you go or what you build, you still gonna be T.I. son. Now don't get it confused. You could be that's King. He T.I. son, but in his own regard, he took what his dad had and look what else he did with that. He just took it to another level.
See, the whole thing with King was being stupid. He didn't want to build from his dad's empire and build it higher. He wanted, oh, well, I want the exact empire you have and say I got it by myself.
No.
I'm like,
wow.
First of all, there's no reason for you to, I did this stuff so you didn't have to do this.
Right.
So why the hell would you want to go backwards to do the bad crap that I had to do? And one for you. Now he done got in trouble with the laws. He done got sent to jail. All this other stuff. I'm like, bro, you stupid. Like, and I'm sorry. He grown now. He's stupid.
Right.
Because I'm like, you gonna sit here, your dad gave you the keys to the kingdom. You slapped them away and said, I want to build my own kingdom.
Let's just talk about various avenues that child could have taken. I got a restaurant.
Yeah.
You could have become a restaurant. I'm like, hey, I'm going to expand these branches of restaurants. I moved out of rap altogether. My dad started with this property. Look how much we got now. And everything from that initial property on, that's me. When you look at it, that's me. Start a liquor line. You have the capital.
He could win the politics. Man, he could did so much stuff. The Rockefeller family, they started off with oil and stuff like that. And I'm like, they helped you from here. Went from oil to steel to all this other stuff. Billionaires, if you got the Rockefeller name,
you go.
You got money.
And what I'm saying is, I can't, outside of John D. Rockefeller, I don't know no more names from that.
Nelson Rockefeller.
Okay. I know Nelson Rockefeller, but outside of that, you probably didn't know any additionals, okay? But what I'm saying is, Rockefeller, the last name will go down in history. It has. It's made it to history textbooks.
But the issue with that is, okay, one person started from here. They built an amazing empire. Then everybody else from the family was like, we're going to branch off from the empire to actually build up the empire more. Multi-million. Went to politics, went over across seas, owned banks, all kinds of stuff. But one of the things we need to stop doing as a people is, oh, well, I got to get it on my own. I have never seen anybody truly 100% make it on their own without any help from anyone.
On top of that, when you telling people, just because I had it hard, he got to have it hard, but you only do that for your people. Because you don't ever invest and get the stories about how Donald Trump had to go and ask his dad for $1 million loan. We don't ever ask that question. We just call him a mastermind of business, right?
Yeah.
You don't get the crowdfunding that Bill Gates had to do or Steve Jobs had to do just to build their empires. You don't get the information where the Amazon dude was working out of the warehouse. His wife was okay with it. Everybody had to sign. Like, it's a lot. It ain't just one man making moves. It's a group of people.
It's a unit that built this up.
And they come together.
A lot of people don't understand. Like, okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger. A lot of people didn't know he was married to one of the Kennedys. He was married to one of the daughters of the Kennedys. He had money that way, but then he had his own money. The fact of the matter, okay, we could go at Al Gore. His wife made way more money than him just off of her family business. Hunts. Catch up. Like the idea, All these things were, let's make this money. Let's build an empire together. We'll consolidate mine and bring in yours. All that kind of stuff.
And build it up that way.
People don't want to do that no more. And that's my issue.
That's a major problem. So if you black out there, focus in and understand that nepotism, stop thinking of it as a negative thing. If you can put your kids on, put your kids on. If you can put somebody who look like you on, put somebody who look like you on. And don't discredit people who don't look like you, because if you qualify for the job and you walk through the door, hey, if I got a position, I'm going to give it to you. But don't get mad when you go in there and you see that my son is just a step above you.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I'm going to pay you what you worth.
Mm-hmm.
But, of course, I'm securing the family. Here we go. We're going to jump into You Won't Believe This, and You Won't Believe This is brought to you by...
As always, love to shout out my beautiful wife. Love you, baby. She's actually on trail ride right now with all her girlfriends or whatever. But I ask y'all check out her product lines. Yanni Like Mine, Traces Like Mine, and Wasted Desires. You could go on wasteddesires.com. They have waist beads, anklets, bracelets, all those things to make your body glitter and shine. You could go to Traces Like Mine. It's on Facebook. It's on Instagram. It is a hair care products for black people, by black people. Actually, all people can use it, but it's a black woman giving this to you. You know how they say they don't have things for our hair in store. Mm-hmm. I asked y'all to check her out. Tell me what you think. And also, Yanni Like Mine. Yanni, if you don't know what your Yanni is, ladies, look it up. It does not clean itself. I asked y'all also check out Brittany Boston Up. She is a counselor out here. She promotes helping the youth, helping be better, helping for them to do better than the last generation. She's actually put out a couple books. She does motivational speaking. She does a lot of different engagements. I ask y'all to check her out at Empower You. It's on Instagram. It's on Facebook. She actually is coming out with a podcast too. I got to check about that to see how far she's gotten with that. But y'all show her some love and show everybody else some love.
Top notch. I spoke with my cousin Mike. They call him Wiggly in these game spaces. He said that he's back to doing a State of Being. He gonna have some new content coming out relatively soon. He just putting it all together. He want to do it a little bit bigger than he did in the past. That being said, State of Being, SOB. It's not like that. Like I said, it's State of Being. All right, go check him out. If you don't like what he's saying today, listen to him tomorrow. I guarantee you he's going to be talking about something more in tune with how you move. Okay? Cool beans. Outside of that, the next person I want to shout out, of course, I say person like it's just a one-man show. The next group of people that I want to talk about, the hopefully next new, media moguls out there is, of course, us. And that is something, the number 4, DA People. On YouTube type podcast, it'll minimize those searches. Those will bring us up a whole lot quicker. Guarantee that we wish to be 5-star generals. If you're on any type of podcasting network, 5 stars is the ideal. If you for some odd reason cannot give us 5 stars, hold that review. Let us know how we can better assist you. And if we can't do it for some odd reason, I'm sure we really malleable though. But if we, for some odd reason, can't give you what you're looking for, and it happens, keep the review, find somebody else who will do what you want them to, and then refer somebody else who's more in line to what we moving with over here. And that's cool with me. That's how we going to do that.
Respect.
Like, share, subscribe. Just because you watching and getting this information, these jewels, don't mean that your friend don't need some jewels too. Go ahead, get them that information. Let them know, hey, it's 2 guys out there who ain't speaking on it from a male red pill side or a female treat dudes bad side. It's just we just looking at it for what it is and calling a spade. Whether it's men messing up or it's women messing up or society messing up, it's how can we make this better for everybody. All right. That being said, I gotta say it one more time, and this is only for the people in the back. That is something, the number 4, DA People podcast on YouTube. Top notch, we're going to jump on to this final situation. So, it's a general term. We gonna say kids out here, they wilding, fam. They tripping. Recently, they had 2 kids who escaped from orphanage, pretty much, and they went inside somebody's house, armed themselves with the guns, and had a shootout with the police. One of the kids was 12 at the time. I think he's turning 13, but he got tried in juvenile court, so not giving out any of his information. However, he pleaded no contest to the allegations. And then there was another one who was a girl. She's 15. She will be tried as an adult. And she came out with a gun and she actually got shot. But they were shooting at the authorities. And then when I say kids, because I don't want you to think that this is just a one-trick pony here. This is why we say kids are tripping out. So a kid was labeled as missing by his grandmother. Mm-hmm. So he jumps out the window and makes a diss track on his grandmother. Mm-hmm. In the diss track, he talking crazy about her. Also says he gonna run up on her with them things that got switches on. And now, plot twist, turn of events, the grandma is apparently finna drop her diss track on the kid. Mm. What do we think about these instances?
Everybody need a whooping. Like, we need to do old school drive-by parenting. I don't care if your parent agrees or don't. We'll fight your parent. But you need this whooping. Yeah. Like, I'm tired of this. I'm like, first of all, give me a break. I grew up in Grand Theft Auto era. Like, I played Grand Theft Auto from the second one, Vice City, San Andreas, all the way up to Grand Theft Auto 5. They supposed to be coming out with another one next year. But give me a break. I ain't never wanted to go out here and start unloading on police officers.
Just hasn't crossed my mind.
Like, that's never once was like, hey, let's be real.
You know, it's a good idea. Yeah.
Like,
go shoot it.
Don't get me wrong. My little brother sometimes was like, hey, bro, you kind of got a little problem. I'm like, no, I'm doing it on the game, so I ain't got to do it in real life. Yeah, this is my outlet, so I get to shoot people or get the bat and beat up people with the bat. I ain't never once went out here with a bat or any kind of weapon. Like, you know what? They gonna get it today because Grand Theft Auto said it was cool.
But I'm just like, Slim Shady said it. Apparently, you ain't parents. There's a space in there where, look, man, I know your kid out here doing some outrageous, wild, unnecessary things. And the way the judicial system set up or the court systems and laws set up, you feel quite powerless to stop such and so from doing whatever they want to do. And you feel like, I can't stop them because I got to go to jail if I stop them. However, just understand there's a fine line between beating a child and disciplining a child. And I ain't trying to tell you that all forms of discipline are the same. Okay? Everybody ain't got to get whooped, but we got to keep in mind, some kids do need this whooping. Some people only understand what they understand. And I know a lot of psychiatrists and psychologists and all, they're going to be like, you can't put that on kids. Okay, I can't put that on kids, but America can seem to put that on them because you're going to get sent to jail. You 15, tried as an adult. The law can seem to treat you however they deem necessary after the fact. So once you've done something that's so crazy and outlandish that I possibly could have stopped you from doing with a simple, hey, I get a switch or I get a belt, let me tighten you up real quick and get your mind right. Instead of 15 licks, now you're getting 15 years. And then another 15 on probation.
See, these are those questions that I have because I'm like, everybody wants to slice it the way they want to. Mm-hmm. But then when push come to shove, you over here like, oh, well, they deserve that. Hold up. So you sitting here telling me I shouldn't whoop the hell out of my child for doing something extremely stupid.
Right.
But you could shoot them. You could send them to jail. You could do all this other stuff. Mm-hmm. Tell me where that makes sense. But I shouldn't whoop them.
Shouldn't whoop them.
Like, I have an issue with this because I genuinely love children. I care about our future. But our future looks stupid. Right. And I'm like, the reason why it looks stupid is because it's like, we go by so much emotion, so much foolishness. Like, I remember, if my mama told me back in the day, you ain't going down there, go down there if you want to. Go on down there. I'm going to show you everything you need to show. And I bet you won't go down there again. Yeah. I told you no. If I said you eating dinner at this point in time, don't go in the refrigerator. You went in that refrigerator, you dealt with them consequences. Right. But you knew there were consequences to your actions. Nowadays, there ain't no real consequences till it get to the time where it's like, oh, we can't take it back now. Right. Oh, you done shot somebody. You over here playing Grand Theft Auto in real life. I ain't never been like, man, let me go get a couple guns and start unloading on people.
And not just people. I need to unload on law enforcement. Since when did society get so thrown out to where we don't even respect the men in uniform no more?
I know social media, movies have you thinking one way, but that's not reality.
It's not.
Like, reality is, for the most part, you have great police officers doing the job. Mm-hmm. I don't want, as a police, I would hate. We got a couple of friends that are police officers. Yes. I have a couple of family members that are police officers. I would hate for my family member to tell me, man, I had to shoot this child that just was unloading. And they were a young child that shouldn't have even been there. You shouldn't even known where a gun was.
Well, granted, they broke into a house and found guns. But what I'm saying is, there shouldn't be a space in a child's brain to where that's something that I want to do. Right? And then when you start taking it into account, like, hey, you got the stuff going on in Chicago. You got the stuff going on in Louisiana. You got, it's areas in Dallas right now that you just like, man, it's really crazy how these kids are feeling this way. And it comes down to some kids, they being pushed into adulthood before they really understand what adulthood is.
But that's one of the things is, what happened to a child being a child? Let's go back to having fun. Go back to AA. Stay out of adults' business. Go do kid stuff. Go play with kids. Go have fun.
But on top of that, because we ain't got much time, this is what I want to say on that too. As much access as phones give, in the wrong hands, they the wrong thing. Right? Agreed. Right now, it's a primary reason why your children think some of the things are cool that they doing right now is because they see some stupid idiot online doing it and they're getting successful from it, or they're getting the attention from it, right? Think about it this way. When you take an attention-starved child, that's the reason they got the phone, so they can self-soothe. They can give themselves, hey, this is going to numb my attention to the fact that my parents ain't been to none of my games. My parents ain't did nothing. My parents just never really around. Only time they show up is to tell me do better, and then they out the door. Because we in a 2-income society, and a lot of our people are single parent homes. It just is what it is. Cool. Attention-starved child, and now they go online, and their heroes online are the people who are doing the pranks and the gimmicks and the foolishness, because they know that those people are getting attention, because it show you right there at the base of the screen. They got this many hearts. And I hate that they made that simple hearts. On top of that, you got this many hearts, you got this many likes, you got this many. So you got people championing them for this. And they like, if I can't get this attention from the people that I'm supposed to get the attention from at home, then I can do this stupid stuff on the internet and I can be world famous. Kids these days don't even care about money. They more focused on how many eyes gonna see me do this crazy stuff. How can I be important that way? And we just gotta recognize some stuff, even though it looks like a toy, phones ain't meant for kids. Even though Grand Theft Auto, for the most of us, we ain't gonna really care much about it. If the kid mentally ain't equipped to deal with it, maybe they shouldn't play that game.
But that's why we have to put the onus on the parents. If you haven't established your child to certain understanding, certain rules, certain boundaries, you're dooming your child to be raised by the world. And if the world has its way, your child gonna have some problems. If you don't believe me, turn on your TV. You'll see all the crazy things that the world gives you. Like, we got the debate right now between two people. Nobody wants neither one of them as president.
Just not.
It's like, give me a break. You have wars breaking out. You have a draft coming. They trying to do a draft back and everything on World War III. It's like, there's so many things out here that we see are ignorant. We see as stupid and frivolous for no reasons. It's like, why are you doing all this? But we haven't taught this generation coming up how to live in this world, and then we let the generation that don't care about any future generation, because let's be real, they about to die.
They got to be done.
And like, your generation, hey, how much can we mess it up before we get out of here?
Right. How can we screw it up a little bit more? Mm-hmm. Before we go, like, how can I secure myself so that I can have a really large tombstone and ensure that everybody else behind me is screwed?
Yeah.
Let me do that. Let me put a dude who just really shouldn't be president, who's really probably not even cognitively all there. But and I know people probably thinking I'm talking about one. I watched the debate. You got one who can't answer a question. He too busy doing like what little kids do. But he ain't good. But he trash. But he suck. And the other one having a hard time finishing the sentence. And I know y'all like, but he got a speech impediment. I hear you, fam. That's all great, all gravy. But sometimes it looked like he was falling asleep while he was talking. Let's just tell the truth, okay? Tell both these grandpas to go sit down because they don't care what happens to people in America. They just don't. Mm-hmm. Okay?
They already did that same thing. Well, I built my legacy, so even if I die today, mine's is good.
I'm good. And both of them, if you listen to what they said, Donald Trump says, only reason I'm running is because you running. I saw how incompetent you were. This is the same lines he used on Obama, by the way. No, I'm sorry, on Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Same lines he used on Hillary Clinton. Hey, I saw that you was running. I think you're incompetent and can't do it. And somebody needs to come and correct this. When Joe Biden saw that Trump was running, he didn't want to run. He said, I was done with it. But when I saw you running, somebody had to step in. If you don't get both y'all hero complex selves down and let somebody who really gonna do something for the American people run, I get it. Like, we don't have nobody who can figure it out. Because I'm like, who wants the job where majority of the people who held the position screwed us over? Like, I gotta fix a lot to be the president, fam. Like, it's so much messed up to where by the time I finish 8, I ain't gonna be made enough of an impression or altered enough foolishness and to where my name can go down in history as one of the greats. It just don't work that way. So it's a job nobody wants. And now we leaving it to the old folk. And the problem with it is the old folk don't care about living. Yeah. So they don't do it for the people who got to live there. They over here
thinking about, oh, well, in 1950 such and such, in my prime, this is what we did.
Bruh, if you could take a girl on a date with $1, you shouldn't be president.
That's true. If you still thinking about that time,
you should be president.
Life isn't about that. If you haven't adapted to the situations and the things that we're into now, right. I'm not saying that you should have some young, I don't know nothing. No, I don't think you should be 30s to be a president, even in your 40s, but give me a break. Both of them are old. Both of them, 50, 60. Both of them, if I hit them right now and they hit, it'll crack.
Like, bro.
If you push them down right now, they ain't getting up.
Just not. They probably wearing Depends and we just don't know it.
Like, and I have no issue with elderly people neither. Cool. It's just the fact that I'm like, at some point in time, you have to lay down your sword and let the next generation pick it up. Mm-hmm. You trying to pick up yours and have people charging the battle with these crazy old school marching orders.
Yeah. And just, like I said, it's just different.
I'm going to leave y'all with this last little piece.
You're going to leave us with
that. Okay. Easy way, easy analogy. A lot of people don't understand how America beat Great Britain in the war. The fact of the matter is Great Britain had a way bigger, way powerful army than America did. But Great Britain was still in the business of going old school. We got to do it this way. Oh, we're going to line all our people up in order. We're going to march them down. So it's like, oh, America started doing more guerrilla tactics. That's why we lost Vietnam too. Because the people of Vietnam, they were less equipped than us. They had less guns than us. But they were like, hey, I'm going to adapt to my situation and I'm going to win. So, again, that's how America beat Great Britain. That's how Vietnam beat America. America was knocked out of Vietnam because they could not beat them. Because they wouldn't adapt.
Understood. That being said, this has been another episode of Something for the People.
Y'all be easy.